Look what I found in the grocery store yesterday. It's the ingredients to an al pastor. Sounds delicious. Anyway, I want to talk to you today about the ingredients of a good blog post. And we're going to talk about some creative ideas and the ways to move up our blog post to a new level. And also LumaFusion, the video editing software that we use on the iPad, came out with a new update, a new release yesterday, 2.4, where we have much more powerful Chroma and Luma key features. And so that's how I can put myself on the grocery store shelf. Well, this isn't really meant to talk about LumaFusion, although I do love the way that they're hanging a licking on Premiere Pro and Final Cut Pro. I want to talk to you about the ingredients of a powerful blog post. 6 little things that we can do to up our game, all right? And the first one is minister to your tribe. Figure out who your people are, the ones that you're ministering to. Forget about trying to go viral, getting clicks, getting likes, getting followers, all that kind of stuff. Who cares? Because what really matters is that you are presenting and giving something, ministering something that changes lives. So minister to your tribe, focus on your tribe. If you focus too wide, you'll miss everybody. If you focus narrowly, there'll be 1 million people that want to hear from you. The second thing is choose your message. I don't want to say 1 point because sometimes you need 3 points to make one, right? But one focus, one goal. In fact, you could write down, and I do this often, even with sermons and everything, write down in a simple phrase what I'm going to accomplish with this blog post, all right? So with this little video, I am going to inspire you to communicate more effectively to your team through your creativity, okay? And that's my message right now, okay? And then the third thing is tell a vivid story. You know that stories work, right? And when you guys start telling stories, man, you got my attention. I just love to hear a story, especially about someone that you know, especially something real that happened and it illustrates something, okay? So you use a story, you use metaphors, and stories can be just as short as just a few words, all right? It just means this is compared to this so that people can remember what it is or get a better picture of it. Now, the fourth thing is cut, delete, cut, delete, cut, delete. I want you to cut and delete as much as you possibly can. The trick to writing is you just have your clear vision and focus, all right? You've written your statement, this is what I'm going to accomplish, and then you just write it. Don't worry about making it short, long, anything, just write it. And then go back and look and say, okay, now what can I cut out of here to make this short and simple? And it'll actually make it more clear. It'll increase the clarity. And then you can even change the grammar around sometimes, because a lot of times we say things backwards because we think it's more effective. It's not. When people are reading, they want you to get to the point. Another thing that happens when people are reading, they're actually trying to guess and go ahead of you. So if you are not clear in what you're writing and you allow people to interpret it different ways, you will lose their attention. It won't be as powerful. So make sure that you've got it just as clear as possible. Get it right down. How long is a good one? Well, they say not over 500 words, but nowadays even 500 words, my blog posts, I always try to make them about 300. And we can even shorten that. Because you got to think, if you're thinking about the people, your tribe that you're ministering to, you're not thinking about giving them quantity. You're thinking about giving them content that they can take home with them, that they can keep and hide in their hearts. The fifth thing is use your own creativity. Now, we mentioned this a little bit before, and I want to talk to you about this because this is really our big opportunity. When you always use a photo, okay? When I email my the accountant or the administrator or whatever of World Missions Continuum, I always put a photo in the email. Can you imagine? I'm answering a question about a bank account or something. I put in a photo. Why? Because every time it's an opportunity for them to get more of a picture of what we're doing so that their work begins to mean something that it didn't, more than what it meant before. And so I try to include a picture in every email or whatever. And you notice that I plaster pictures all over the place. And because pictures say 1,000 words, well, if they only say one word that sticks, that's the goal. So the absolute first best pictures, photographs that you should use are your own. And the second best ones to use are your own. And the third best ones to use are your own. You get the picture. And maybe about the 10th best ones to use are the ones you might pull off the internet. Do you remember a few years ago, and this is kind of a carryover right now, is that everything we produce, we wanted it to be excellent. We wanted it to be slick. We wanted it to be clean. We wanted it to be, just powerful. And so that's where these big companies found a niche with the stock photos online, right? You can sign up for these things and you can get all the photos you need or whatever. But those things, I don't know, they don't impress me. I don't like them anymore. I never did buy any because I always figure I could do better myself. Or if I can't, I want to learn how to do better. But when you see someone else's photo in someone else's blog post, especially if it's one of those generic ones, you're kind of like, yeah, whatever. Anybody can do that. Now, there's times when you need a photo of something or a graphic that you just can't produce on your own. So again, that's 10th best, but go ahead and do it. What's happened then over the years is that with the whole social media thing, we've shifted from watching things that are all perfect to things that are kind of real, right? They're much more real. Selfies and photographs and activities in your Facebook page and that kind of stuff. I mean, you use real photographs. You're not going to pull a stock image off some website to show how much fun you had at the picnic, right? No, you're going to use a real photograph of you and your friends having a great time. And that speaks to people. You know that. That's why we do that. So you want to eliminate all of those things as much as you can. The same thing with graphics. Come up with your own cute little things. Like start to draw or whatever. Draw a stick man. Nobody's going to... They might chuckle, but it's great to have whatever it is. I like to see your effort, right? And I do that. I couldn't draw my way out of a paper bag, but I can draw a stick man, and he can mean something. So that's perfect opportunity for me. So that photos, get a camera, learn how to take good photos, and learn how to take creative photos. I carry my camera everywhere. It's a continuum thing, right? We are camera ready. I just came home from the mountains yesterday, and I took, hundreds of pictures of this frozen lake. But the sun was doing some amazing things, and the trees were doing some amazing things. And again, I've got a repertoire of photos, of thousands of photos on a hard disk and a backup of them that go all the way back to the beginning. Actually, they go back to when I was 5 years old. And I got a camera when I was, in high school and started learning photography and took pictures, and I've still got all of that stuff. All through the history of Victory Asia, the children's home and all, I've got pictures of everything, divided into countries, divided into years, and I can go back and get a picture of just about anything. And then I've got another one that's just used for backgrounds and things like that. So it's got a folder with all kinds of sunsets and waterfalls and trees and stuff. Something you might want to stick in the background of something. And those are all mine, I don't have to pay for them. It's just fun taking them. I don't use them very often. I usually go get a new one, but nevertheless, they're there, and you can do that. And so get handy with your phone until you get a camera, and then when you get a camera, take it everywhere. You might look like a bit of a nerd, but man, I tell you what, your blog post will sure come up in quality. Then other things that you can use, and I see you guys doing this a lot, you put your, the quotes in a box or with a background or in a different font. Taylor likes to use the bold and the italics. All those things really draw your attention to what you think is important, and it's very helpful for the reader. So continue to do that and increase that. You can, add more kind of little things, whatever. And it's good to begin to get a theme going as well for your blog post, so that when people see the blog post, before they even see your name, they'll know, oh, okay, this is Sonia, right? She's the one with the cookies all over everywhere, right? Or whatever. I'm hungry. Another thing I should mention is website trends. We're seeing a great shift from the really slick, super pro looking websites to reality. Just show me a picture of your car, of your bedroom, right? Especially Kare's bedroom, the one without a bed. I mean, that's fascinating. Tells the whole story in itself, right? That her keyboard is more important than her bed. And so those kind of things really reveal your character. So use those things to, build a theme around your character the things that you want people to think about you. And of course, I get a lot of stuff built around old cars and stuff like that, right? It's just cool because it kind of gives you an interesting character. People want to hear something, want to know something about you. But those web trends are going from this really slick, where you open a website and all those pictures, they kind of float by, and then there's layers on top of layers, and everything kind of, goes down. Wix does that for you, does it for you for free or nothing. But I'm telling you, that's going to be gone soon because people are tired of that. And people just want, and again, the pictures that come up on there, I'm like, whatever. I don't even know who these people are. I don't know what they're doing. And it's just images. Like, that's supposed to stir me up. Not anymore, because our life is full of images. And even the pictures that you use in those kind of cases, headers and that kind of stuff, you can put text on those, and then people will know what it's about. Because if people don't know you, they're just like, this is just clutter. That's all it is. But if it's a picture of something you want people to see, then put some text on there and say, the jungles of Thailand. Right? And they're like, you were in the jungles of Thailand? Yes. And so that kind of thing will really help. 1,000 words says a picture, right? And websites anyway are going to become simpler and simpler and more real all the time. And so it's important to remember that. So just get down to basics and make it communicate. If it doesn't help the communication, cut it. All right? That goes with words, with graphics, with design, with whatever. You got to understand that most web designers, webmasters, they're designing a website to show off their own creativity and to impress you. But that's not what I want my website to do. I want my website to teach you, to bless you, to minister to you, okay, to communicate to you. All right, so keep that in mind as you design things. And then we mentioned this before, number 6, a short video. Include a video. If there's a box, a window in your website with a video in it and an arrow, you can be sure people click that arrow. But if you trick them and the video ends up being 15 minutes long, they're not going to come back. They're never going to click that thing again. So make it exciting and short and have some good content in there for them, okay?
Hi, Dad. Cheers. Cheers to a good day. Just wanted to say hi.
Minister to your tribe. Forget being popular. Choose your message, one focus, one theme. Write it out. Stay on track. Tell it in a vivid story. Use metaphor stories, and that's again where all the pictures and all that kind of stuff come in. Point 4, cut, delete, cut, delete, cut, delete. If it's not necessary, just kill it. Okay? So then number 5, use your own creativity, photographs, graphics, all that kind of stuff. Develop your own theme. Just be creative. And number 6, add a video if you really want to talk to people. There are people that just watch videos. People that are too lazy to read. All right, so there's the ingredients for for a good blog site.